So we are still with the history of Makati, and we went to the slave house, that is the underground slave house. So I am also invited by Kebba Sarjo, who's gonna give us a brief history of the Freedom Tree. Okay, Kebba.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I say good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Kebba Sarjo. I'm here to represent the town development community, to take care of the place and to welcome the guests. So on that note, I would like to say welcome to you all.
Thank you, Kebba.
So as you see, this is the freedom tree here.
Yeah.
But this tree here, it is not the original tree.
Okay.
The original tree which was here died long time ago.
Okay.
During the colonial time, the original tree which was here, the slave masters will be telling the slave to run all the way from the underground house.
There is a hole over there.
Yeah,
okay.
To come and touch the tree or hug the British flag here to have their freedom. But how are they going to have their freedom? Because during the colonial time, this place was not fenced like this. But there was an iron pole, which an iron rope was attached to it called barbed wire in the local language.
Oh, yeah.
And this barbed wire, it is having a small pin, whereby if you run and you want to jump over it, it will wound you. And there is gunmen all around this area with their guns and dogs. Wild dogs, they will be chasing you whilst you are running with your chain. So if you come and touch the tree or hug the British flag, they liberate you as a free slave. And how are they going to liberate you as a free slave? They put metal inside the fire until when it is red hot and they burn you. And they make stamp on your left hand or at your back, whereby anywhere you go, people will recommend you as a free slave and your name will be recorded in the register that you are free.
Okay.
But it is not easy.
It's not easy at all.
And during the colonial time, this island have different names. Because during the 15th and 16th centuries, they called this island as Lemon Island, which was named after Abdul Lemon. Then from Lemon Island, they call it as Georgetown, which was named after King George IV. Then from Georgetown, they call it as Makati, which was named after Sir Charles Makati. He was the governor-in-chief of British West Africa. Then from Makati, they call it as Janjambure. Janjambure, they were two brothers, Janjang and Bore. They were hunting from Monday to Friday and they separate. So Georgetown, there was three kind of fort. We have Fort George, Fort Blaine, and Fort Campbell. Fort George was located here, and Fort Blaine was located at the other part of the island called Kumbangyar. Then from there, we have Fort Blaine at Barra.
Okay.
So that's why it is called Georgetown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
During the slavery time, this place was they make it in a form of a triangle. They take the good from Africa to Europe, Europe to America, America back to Africa. That's why it is called triangular slave trade. Yes.
So I can remember we learned that in our SES, that is Social and Environmental Studies.
Yes.
Yeah.
This island was named after Sir Charles Makati, who was the governor-in-chief of British West Africa. And we have a little bit information which concerns about the tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to show us that, right?
Yes, I want to show you that. We start from this territory. So he says the British possessed slave trade was abolished in 1807. Slave trade was abolished in 1807, while slavery was abolished in 1823. That's the year the British possessed this island. It says the British possessed the island in 1823 to discourage domestic slavery. We have three kinds of slavery: royal slave, war slave, and domestic slave. Royal slave are the one who will be drumming and dancing. They will be following the king and they will be pressing him anywhere they are going. War slave are the one who will be fighting for the right of the king. And domestic slave are the one who will be working inside the farm and plantation farm for the king, which has been officially abolished but was still taking place. And a military base was established by the British in this very area, and it is called Fort George. Georgetown was named after this man, King George IV. So the island was a refuge for the running away slaves from the surrounding area. Upon arrival, slaves were received by the soldiers at fort. When they thought or hugged the tree aside, their names were then recorded in the register and they were free. So when any slave who comes and touch the tree here or hug the British flag here, they make a record of your name and they liberate you as a free slave. And how are they going to liberate you as a free slave? They burn you. They put metal inside the fire until when it is red hot and they make stamp on your left hand or at your back, so that you can be free. So the freedom So as time passed, the original freedom tree was removed. The original one, which was here, it was removed. On September 21st, 2002, the Janjambure community held a ceremony to plant a new tree aside to celebrate a river of the town and the freedom we all shared. So the Freedom Monument and the Triangular Park was restored by Widi Janjambure Town Development Community. It was restored by Widi Janjambure Town Development Community. The U.S. Peace Corps, there was one U.S. Peace Corps volunteer who gave us helping hand to renovate this place. And this site is a tribute to our history and a symbol of hope for the futures. We leave it here for the small ones because we can only forgive but not to forget about the history. So this one is about the colonial history. It's about how the settlement of Janjambure came about. How Janjang and Bore were settled on this island. So this one here is talking about the welcoming. We says welcome to Janjambure, the Freedom Tree Monument. We hope you have a pleasant and informative visit. All proceeds from administrations, retail operated are reinvested in this site. We say thank you for your interest and for helping us preserve an important piece of our heritage. So when you come here, it's talking about the settlement history of Janjambure, how Janjang and Bore were settled on this island. It says on April 14, 1823, the island was ceded in a treaty signed by Major Grant and the King of Kataba. This King of Kataba is a country in Senegal, whereby the king is living there and the assistant king is living in the Gambia here. He's overseeing all the country. So any information they have, they send it to the King of Kataba. On the same day, Grant took formal possessions of the island and built a fort. They built a moot fort here. On April 30th, 2 cannons were mounted on the Boston, the British flag hosted and royal salute fire. After the abolition of the slave trade, with the help of William Wilberforce, Thomas Clarkson, and Grant Wilsap, they said no more slavery, no more slave good. They said now if they see any slave boat moving with slave or slave good, they use this cannon to fire the boat for the boat to capsize down. The cannon was here before, but now they transport it to the governor residence for safety purpose, whereby you have the list of the colonial masters and the colonial governors which were there now. The settlement was named after King George IV. Georgetown was named after this man, King George IV. Then 1825 to 1830, and the island was renamed after Sir Charles Makati. This Sir Charles Makati was the governor-in-chief of British West Africa, positions 1834 to 1854. As the name Janjambure denoted, the island was used periodically as a place of refuge for fugitives from the mainland. Then in 1810, a marabout by the name called Hamang Toure, this marabout is a juju maker, fortune teller, by the name called Hamang Toure, found a small village called Morokunda. Morokunda is a holy place, whereby only the marabouts were living there and the assistant, the marabouts were living there. So where he and his followers settled to escape persuasions by their Soninke's neighbors. These Soninkes, they are the people whom you know they did not believe on Islamic and they did not believe on Christianity. They are free thinkers. That's why they are called Soninkes. Then we come back here again. So this one is talking about the Freedom Tree, which says our rich past is celebrated in a network of special places that together tells the stories of the land, people and events that serve this community. This significance explains of the island, natural and cultural heritage, reflects our community, value, identity and pride. So that place is called Tinyansita, whereby we have the Kankurang masquerade, we have different kind of baobab tree, we have the Kankurang baobab, and we have Nyaku Sita and Tinyansita. So these are the 3 baobabs which were there at Tinyansita. So this one is talking about Janjambure and the icons of the colonial history. It says Makati Island was for a number of years a solitary outpost, but the importance of Grant's Treaty lies in the fact that it gave Great Britain a permanent foothold in the upper water of the river. When some years later there was talk of abandonment of the Gambia, and at a subsequent date the rival claims of Great Britain and France came to be considered, the existence of this small outpost turned the scale and British Gambia was allowed to continue. To Grant therefore belonged the credit of founding not only the colony but also the protectorate of the Gambia. It was written by James Gray. By then Gambia was a country in Senegal which is surrounded on all 3 sides, and on the 4th side of it was Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. So by then Gambia was colonized by the British and Senegal is colonized by the French. So up to an extent that they have a word of command from the king of Kataba called Mansakoli Kamara. So that's why they oversee the country and they were given permission. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that is a brief history of this freedom tree, and also how the slave trade were operating in the Gambia. So I'm gonna say I've never had this story like I am hearing it now. So I'm gonna say a big thank you to Kebba Sarjo, okay, for giving us this great information. I'm gonna leave his contact details in the description of this video, so that anytime you wanna come around here, you can contact him and he can take you through this store. And also, if you wanna see the area live, you can just come around and they will be taking you around. So I hope you all enjoy this series. Thanks, and see you in the next video.